Hello, my name is Sabrina Prater, and I will be doing a presentation today on a proposal written by myself, Vivian, Dominic, and Sean. The presentation is on helping to reduce food insecurity in North Texas. Our solution to the problem is to create a very efficient distribution network between local farms and homesteads to markets, stores, restaurants, and then also food banks to create reduced cost and more of a connection to local produce in our community so that food insecurity could be reduced to make sure that everyone is able to afford and acquire the necessary food they need to live healthy lives. So, what exactly is food insecurity and why is it a problem? So, food insecurity in the U.S. and North Texas has mostly to do with situations such as food deserts, which are urban areas where grocery stores are few and far between. So, the only real affordable food options for many low income families would be things like fast food with high fat, very non-nutritious nutritious meals. This is a health issue. If you are unable to get the necessary vitamins and protein you need in your body, you can become anemic. There's a higher risk for disease. So food insecurity is a very big problem. Just because someone is able to get food, it doesn't mean that it's the correct food that will make sure that their bodies are running smoothly. Food waste is also a really big problem with this, where food that others can easily afford but they don't want because maybe it's the wrong shape or it's going to expire kind of soon. That food just gets wasted, and people who really need it, such as those low income families, are not able to acquire it. So this is why we're trying to create a distribution network to make sure that these foods that are necessary for people to live healthy lives are getting to where they need to be at a reasonable cost. And there are a few existing organizations already that are battling food insecurity already. One that's actually in North Texas is the North Texas Food Bank. They accept donations, both food and cash, to give to families that need it, whether it be the elderly, children, and that's in the form of raw produce, that they have a limited supply, or even pre-prepped meals, which they have already donated 96. They donated 96 million meals just in the 2020 fiscal year. The other mentionable nonprofit organization is the Daily Table, located in Boston, Massachusetts. Basically, they have donated food from farms or local stores that are given to them at either for free or at a reduced cost, that then they can pass on that reduced cost to customers in need, or are able to give what they can to who really needs it. This option, of course, gives a sense of normalcy to people. So, of course, anyone that would want to pay for something at an affordable price for something that they will actually give them proper nutrition is beneficial and maybe preferable for most, compared to something that is just giving to them for free or with limited choices. So why we need your help and what our plan is for getting this project off the ground is to, of course, create an office space for essential employees with kind of skilled jobs such as logistic office workers. We also need help in making sure that we can find volunteers that will do more unskilled labor jobs, such as helping to load trucks or just make sure our food is getting where it's supposed to, and also acquiring transportation trucks, refrigerated and non, to make sure that this food is all getting where it's supposed to be in a efficient way. And then we are also going to use those employees and our resources to try to negotiate contracts or donations in a kind of regulated way from those local farms or stores that can give what they can for what they can. The benefits to our solution is that it creates a connection to food in our communities, not just for those who are of low income. In the past, people have known where their food comes, what they're getting it for, why it costs what it does, and we have lost that a lot in our society. So this kind of awareness of making sure people are eating local and not just from giant chains is beneficial. There's also an environmental safety to it. When food is being shipped all the way around, no matter where, in refrigerated trucks where bacteria may live or viruses can occur, it's not really safe. But if you know exactly where you're getting your food from, if it's not having to go too far, there's you have more safety. And of course, low-income families are needing that. It's no good if that produce is not as fresh as it possibly can be, if it makes them sick. There's also an economic advantage to making sure that we can find the best way to get the best prices to stores that can use that economic leverage to help donate, or making sure that those people can afford the best. For example, the average cost of a half gallon of organic milk in the US is about $4.09. But if you look at just our local milk dry Valley Dairy Farm in Forestburg, they actually are able to sell an entire gallon of milk for $5. So that's double the milk for pretty much the same cost. Figuring out how to get these great costs somewhere where it can be appreciated and not wasted is one of our main goals of our solution. Our solution is, of course, ethical because of those health reasons I mentioned before. The nutrition that is necessary to people, children especially, who need to make sure they're getting that vitamin A, that vitamin C, everything that they need is really important to our community to make sure that our children are healthy. And then also making sure that food that is being distributed is fresh and safe to eat and not being hauled around incorrectly all over the country. This also will end up stimulating our farms and businesses because we're making sure that they are getting some kind of boost to their sales, and they're able to maybe share a little more and kind of be able to donate more to food banks for low income families. This will almost also limit the food waste because we will be taking food, especially from farms maybe that's a little off shape or the wrong size that otherwise would have been wasted in a field somewhere, or maybe produce or products from a store that still has a 6-month shelf life, but no one's been taking it because they just don't see the necessity of that. The time frame we're trying to work for our goal is 56 days from May 31st to July 25th. From May 31st to June 13th, we'll be looking primarily for office space to make sure we have the proper headquarters where we can have meetings or make calls and coordinate efforts to get food where it's supposed to be. After that, we will be simultaneously looking for skilled employees such as licensed truck drivers or even logistic workers, and also looking for volunteers for more of those unskilled labor jobs at their own discretion for whatever days they can work or whatever times. And then after we have those skilled employees, we'll be trying to locate vehicles to purchase or even have donated to us for this distribution network. And then we will also be trying to acquire and coordinate contracts or donations from farms and stores and homesteads. A few what ifs about our plan that I'm sure you might have asked yourself are, what if we cannot find employees to do this work? What if we cannot find enough volunteers? What if we are not able to gain enough donations or contracts? Well, our plan is to make sure that those few employees we have would have a fair and competitive wage to get the best applicants for the position. And we would also limit distribution if necessary, if we may not be able to find the correct number of volunteers, or we would also rely on donations of time from store employees at those stores we'd be collecting donations from, maybe getting them to help load a truck or anything else they could. And then we would also we would find out what is available frequently and with haste to make sure we're getting everything we can from what is being donated, but it is actually very unlikely we'd not be able to find something to use from these local farms. It's so much of the time there are excess produce or products from farms that would have gone to waste anyway, and that is really a hit to the bottom line of those farmers, and they would appreciate having something to do with that food, even if we're only able to give them maybe a more reduced cost to their primary sales. The cost for our project is projected to be roughly $35,300 to get us started up. That's for the office space, the employees, the maybe using things to get a fundraiser started, and the trucks if we're unable to get donations from. So this is the cost that we're really requesting from you, so that we might be able to make sure that we're getting this project off to the right start and do what we can for our community. So in conclusion, this is our plan for making sure that we're using a business-like mentality to help spread produce and other donations to low-income families, while doing what we can for our community to aid those local farms as well. Because even if we're able to help them a little bit, they might be able to spread those donations a little more. So thank you for your time, and I hope you have a beautiful day.